Welcome to the first of the 2 days of the GFDRR Partnership Days event. My name is Cristina Otano. I'm a Senior Operations Officer at GFDRR, the Brussels office, and I'll be your moderator for the day. In the last few years, you've witnessed and you hear about, all the work we've done to reduce disaster risk and to promote disaster risk management throughout our work. Today, we are going to speak more concretely about what we are doing and showcase some of our concrete achievements in the different thematic areas. Before we proceed, I have a few housekeeping matters. For those that are here, just know that we will have a Q&A section, and you can also look at the agenda at the QER if you have any questions about what we are doing there. If there are many questions, we are very time bound today, so we won't be able to address everything. If that's the case, we'll follow up with everyone online. For those that are watching this online, you will also have a chance to participate in the Q&A. You just have to raise your hand in the chat, and we have a colleague that will be looking at that. The only thing is noted that by default, the mic for those outside of this room is muted, but you can still participate. And, as those staying here, you can look and scan for the QR of the event page. You have it on the screens. You also have it in the permanent slide you're seeing in your computers. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Cécile Tokar from USAID. She's sitting in for Sarah Charles, who had to leave in a hurry. It seems that these days we are having all sorts of different things that are changing our agendas. So anyway, without further ado, welcome, Cécile. Looking forward to hear from you.
Thank you so much. Sarah apologized. I think the disadvantage of being in the same time and 2 blocks away from your office, you can get cold easily. So she had to go back to the office for an urgent call. Well, good afternoon and welcome back. Thank you, GFDRR, for a great lunch. So this session will be very much learning. So I guarantee you're not going to be bored or fall asleep. So we have great presentations coming up. As we discussed, the challenges we face are complex and intertwined. Climate change, conflict, COVID-19, lack of governance, instability converge to magnify the impacts of disasters and leaving communities even more vulnerable and exposed. It is also crucial to recognize, and we all in this room definitely, and on the virtual world, recognize the fundamental link between disaster and climate change. And we discussed this morning. And we also discussed this morning, we can only address compounding challenges through embracing a whole community approach that involves concerted efforts of governments, communities, civil society, academia, and private sector. Collaboration and cooperation among these stakeholders are not just desirable, but necessary to operationalize and sustain disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation. As many indicated today, and as well as many countries stated last week in Sendai high-level meeting for midterm review, we must recognize that disaster risk management efforts that lack meaningful inclusivity, particularly with our local participation, are ineffective and could jeopardize hard-earned both disaster risk reduction and development gains. It is imperative that we engage all segments of society, especially those who are most vulnerable, marginalized, and underrepresented. By including diverse perspectives, we can ensure that our efforts are effective and that ensure that no one is left behind. As they say, nothing about us without us moving forward with the marginalized group. GFDRR is at the forefront of this innovation and inclusion. It was great to hear that efforts of gender integration reached in over 90%. When I first joined GFDRR, when we first joined, it was about 5 to 10%. And that wasn't a long time ago, about a decade. So it's great that we are going that direction, but we still have to do a lot. So although it's work in the diverse thematic areas and cross-cutting priorities, as well as wide-ranging of partnership. I think that's the beauty of GFDRR, bringing various stakeholders together, creates opportunities to collaborate on innovative solutions, engages an exchange of the best practices among donors, stakeholders, and others, and facilitates the implementation of effective policies and programs. The technical expertise of GFDRR, you've seen a very brief preview this morning, is very rich, combined with extensive development experience of GFDRR and technical experts, and also dedicated donors and partners, including you today joining both in person and virtually. We can combine our collective knowledge, resources, expertise, experiences to make substantial contribution to reduce disaster risk and building resilience worldwide. The partnership days underscore the importance of strengthening alliances and collaboration. Over the next 2 days, you will have the opportunity to witness firsthand how GFDRR works with its partners to address disaster risk and climate change adaptation. Together, we will strive to create a more resilient and secure future for all. Thank you again for joining.
Thank you so much, Cecile, for your good words. As I said earlier, we are doing a lot of improvisation today because things happened. And so we were to have Axel von Strottenberg, our senior managing director, attending, but he also got caught on something else. And so actually we have him on video. That's the good thing of preparing. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm here. Unfortunately, I couldn't be here in person. I was running yesterday, and then I got hurt. So, so now I'm stuck at home. That can happen. But I'm very happy to join you here via video conference and welcome you all to the GFDR Partnerships Days. These meetings give us a really good opportunity to connect again and share ideas about how we can build on our existing track record and scale up the important work in helping developing countries prepare for disaster and strengthen resilience. The GFDRR and the World Bank have had been at the forefront of resilience and preparedness efforts. With this support, a growing number of countries, such as the Philippines and Bangladesh, now prioritize disaster risk reduction and address risk before a disaster strike. And in Bangladesh alone, prioritizing disaster risk reduction has saved the lives of millions of vulnerable people. I myself visited Bangladesh earlier this year, and I could see firsthand how investment in resilient infrastructure is indeed saving lives in areas prone to cyclones, for example. And let me add here, it was very good to see the recent evaluation by the World Bank's independent evaluation group confirming that GFDRR has contributed significantly to increasing the bank's investment in disaster risk reduction. Now, quite frankly, having worked myself in the regions as VP, but also as an MD, I can say that it just reconfirms what I have been seeing. This group is doing absolutely spectacular work. And but with increasing threats posed by climate change, demand for this work is growing. And we need to evolve and become even more effective in responding to client needs. You're probably all familiar with the evolution roadmap at the bank, and we are trying to do more and also to do better and to address really important challenges facing low and middle income countries, from climate change to the higher frequency of cyclones or hurricanes. And in that sense, providing more effective support and earlier support, and with this help communities that are under threat. So support is about much more than only financial resources. And mind you, financial resources matter. but it is also about knowledge. It is about technical expertise too. And the bank and GFDRR are committed to delivering the full package to our clients. And GFDRR promises to play a crucial role in this evolution of the World Bank. Through its partnership, GFDRR can mobilize the expertise and resources of other institutions, and through its technical leadership, can build capacity at the country level and support innovation and knowledge. GFDRR is also one of the key partners of implementing the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction 2015-2030. The midterm review of the Sendai Framework was held in New York City just a few days ago and gave us an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to this global agenda. And as we evolve, we are also focusing on how we can use technology to enable our work. We must take advantage of emerging technologies to improve data collection, analysis, and disseminations. And GFDRR's remote damage assessment tool is a great example of technology that is making more efficient use of emergency resources. So in closing, I really am excited that we have this partnership days. There is a huge potential to do more. I hope that you will discuss all these aspects. It is not only finance, it is the partnerships that matter and how we can effectively help the communities. So I wish you all fruitful discussions, but also a clear sense on how we take this very important agenda forward. And I'm sure with your track record, we will do very, very well. So have great discussions and thank you.
Thanks to you, Axel, and we hope that you recover soon.